Frank. I'm a freshman at Novato High.
My name is Delaney. I'm 15. I'm a sophomore at Novato High.
My name is Molly Carter. I'm a freshman and I'm 15 years old.
I'm Mal Vetri. I'm 18 years old. I go to Novato High School.
I'm Laura Roberts and I teach 11th grade regular English, 12th grade ERWC and ELD.
I'm Nicole Slavin and I teach English 9 and 2 sections of ELD Level 2.
Hi, I'm Alana and I'm a senior at St. Ignatius College Prep.
My name is Nikki Holtman Wilmot and I have 3 children that I will claim. Maddie's 21, Riley's 18, and Matt and Delaney is 15.
I'm Jenna Hatfield. I'm 17. I go to Novato High School and I'm attending Cal Poly SLO next year.
My name is Glenn Corey and I teach product design, I teach AP Physics, and I teach programming.
My name is Mackenzie Wagner. I'm 15 and I go to Novato High School.
Yeah, I'm Emily Lones. I am 17 and I'm going to Novato High.
And do you enjoy school for the most part?
I guess I kind of do it and I've kind of learned to deal with it. So I don't hate it, I guess.
Yes, I like going to school every day.
Yes, I enjoy learning and also seeing my friends every day, so it balances out.
For the most part, school is just kind of a place I socialize.
I think for the most part I do, but I feel like it was kind of like a learning process to enjoy it. I feel like the farther that I got along and the more classes that I could choose from, that was like more powerful for me. But
Well, I went there, so I survived Novato High. Just like any place, I think. My kids have gone to private school too, so there's good teachers everywhere and there's lousy teachers. You'll run into a lousy boss more than once. So for the most part, it's a good place. It's a good community.
Would you classify yourself as like a mostly AP and honors student or mostly enrolled in regular classes?
Considering that only one AP class is available to freshmen, I'm only in one AP class and the rest are normal.
So even with that, you say only one AP class, but you're a freshman, you're already taking a college class.
Well, there's only one AP class offered to freshmen, so I'm in that, and then every other course is regular.
I feel like I put in a lot of work into school, so I'd classify myself as a above standard student.
I'm definitely an AP and honors kid. I don't think I've had a school year without honors classes. And I don't know, I took 7 classes this year for my senior year, and they're all AP except physio.
How many hours a night would you say you spend on homework for these subjects?
I would say I spend about 3 to 4 hours a night.
And do you have extracurricular activities that like interfere with this?
Yeah, I play softball.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Depending on the day, probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. I play lacrosse and volleyball, so those practices sometimes interfere.
I play soccer, lacrosse, and cross country, and I participate in MSA for photography.
Probably around 2 hours. I work. I play 2 sports, water polo and swimming, and my mom really likes to spend time with us, and chores, of course.
In my junior year, on my AP class, I would probably have anywhere between 1 and 3 of one AP.
So if you have like 3 APs, it would be like
So
possibly 6 hours of work.
Yeah, like a normal day. If I got done with my homework at 11, get up at 6:20, and redo the process. Run cross country and track 48 weeks out of 52 weeks of the year, so it's pretty much like a year-round sport for me. On top of that, I'm also in Marine School of the Arts for playing drums and jazz band and jazz combo. My social life tries to come last.
I have 2 jobs. I play lacrosse, I play basketball, so yeah, I have a lot of activities, but I don't think it gets in the way of any of my schoolwork.
I've had upwards of like 6-7 hours before, but usually it's about 4-5 hours. Yeah, I usually, I've done sports for a couple years, like a year and a half, but I had to start working for my senior project. So yeah, I was really into track, but I had to drop it because I couldn't work and have all AB classes and track.
And do you think that the extracurriculars that students are doing to keep up for college provide too much stress in their lives?
Absolutely. I think what kids should be doing in high school is learning. There should be no homework. What the homework should be is if there's something that you're interested in that you want to follow up. Let's say you want to study marine biology and you start your own project and you're so excited and interested in it that you actually need to spend your extra time on it because it's what you want to do. I think that would be spectacular, rather than doing 100 math problems in an evening to make sure that you're ready for a test the following day. I think that's really unfair and it's unrealistic.
What would you say you do to accommodate for the amount of work that kids are getting in every class combined, such as like communicating with other teachers when big projects are due, or do you mostly focus on just your classes' work?
I do two things. One thing I do is I try to listen. I ask my students and I try to listen really carefully to see if they've seemed like overwhelmed and inundated with stuff, which they are mostly, but I try to listen and try to make sure I do it in a way that balances with their other workload. I try as good as I possibly can. There isn't very good communication between teachers, sadly. And the other thing I try to do is I went to the superintendent and I went to the principal of the school and said, I want to create a new kind of school. And I want to create a school where there are no grades. It's all portfolio based. A school where there are no bells, so if a student wants to work for 4 hours on a project because they really want to finish it, they can do it. And everything is based on their portfolio. And I'm working with universities to be able to make it so that they'll start accepting portfolio instead of grade point average and test scores.
If you're able to manage your time wisely, how many days a week do you still wake up tired?
5.
And have you ever not gone to school because you were too exhausted or there was too much work due the next day?
There were times I should have taken the day off, like literally for health reasons, but I didn't because I almost come to school.
I wake up every day tired, but Wednesdays are really helpful because you can sleep in, so I'm not very tired on Wednesdays.
Wake up tired.
Probably 8.
Wake up tired.
Every day. Yes, I've definitely taken a mental health day.
Yeah, I'll skip school if I don't want to take that test that day or if I need another day. I don't think that's big of a deal. I want to be prepared when I take the test.
Too exhausted, there's too much work due the next day?
I've wanted to, but my mom would never let me do that, so I've had to go to school every time.
And have you ever experienced any changes in your mood, family life, mental health because of the stress that school has had on you or a close friend that personally affected you?
Yes, when I'm stressed, I'll get very angry and grumpy, and therefore I get less sleep, which makes it even worse. I get criticized a lot for always being in my room, and they say I live in a cave, but I'm mostly just doing my homework in my room where it's quiet, where I have to.
Still wake up tired?
Every day, pretty much. You'll always wake up tired.
There's too much work due the next day?
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed home from school just to do schoolwork, which is like a paradox, I guess, but like sometimes you have to do it. Like there's big projects and you don't have enough time because if you go to school, you're spending your time in other classes that might not mean as much as this big project does to your grade.
Changes in your mood or affected you because of the stress from school?
Yeah, I mean, someone, like a parent tells me that I need to like pick up my clothes or something when I'm doing so much. It feels like I have a job, which is school, and they just want to know like how my day was, and I'm like, it doesn't matter because this is the work that I have to do now.
Sometimes stress can definitely get in the way of how I interact with my family at night because I usually ignore them because I have to do homework and schoolwork.
Yeah, my family and I fight a lot because like a lot of the times my parents are concerned that I'm just really stressing myself out and I feel like I have to do the things that's stressing me out. I've had a lot of problems with anxiety because of school, and I have a lot of friends who've like really been affected by the atmosphere at school and what they're being taught in ways that I don't really feel it's my place to talk about, but it's been really bad for them.
So have any of your students ever come to you if they're missing work, if they haven't been able to get any of it done or are just constantly failing tests, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's 5 of those a year. And usually about this time of year too, there's a whole nother slew that'll pour it on and decide like, oh my goodness, guess what I've done. I have 2 kids that are seriously ill right now. You know, they're in deep depression, and that's just making them shut down, and I understand that. And they actually both did come to me and tell me that that's what's going on. I could tell that's what's going on because I can see it. I can see the kid that showed up in September and the kid that's showing up now. I mean, something's wrong. So for that kid, if you come and you talk to me, boy, there's no such thing as a deadline in my class. So you can just keep turning things in. We can work things out. I will work it out with you because obviously, like I said, it's something far beyond high school that's going on in your life.
I've also said to kids, look, there's a lot of stuff swirling around in your life, and you're not in charge of any of it, and none of it is your fault.
Right.
Read this book.
Right.
It's a great book, and maybe it will take you a little bit out of that. Maybe sometimes what I can offer is an alternative to
escape
being in that situation 24/7 all the time.
Do you think that the stigma in today's society that everyone feels around having to go to college to succeed is true? And if not, then what alternatives do you think are available for kids that don't attend college?
I really think, I think it's not true. I think some of it's true for some people. So I think what you need to do in the modern world is you need to find something that you're really passionate about, and you have to be really agile in your thinking and how you learn and how you teach yourself, because I think what's going to be happening is the world's going to be changing quickly, and what you have to do is enjoy what you're doing and not be afraid to learn.
Do you think that your kids need to go to college to be successful?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I want them all to go to college. We went to college. My parents didn't go to college, and my father was incredibly successful businessman, but that was a different era, and I wish trade schools were taken more seriously now. I mean, I pay my electrician and my mechanic and my plumber a whole lot of money, and you don't have to go to a 4-year college for that. You need to go to trade school. So I think everyone finds their path. It's the best deal.
Do you think that we need college now to be successful?
Yes, because later on in life it will help you to make more money and be more successful at your career, and it helps you with your education.
It depends on the person, but I think you really need to go to college to be successful.
Have you ever been told that you have to go to college to be successful?
Yes.
By who?
My mother, mostly. Teachers.
In today's society, do you think it's possible to be successful without college?
Yes, but it's extremely difficult, I would say.
Do you think that school and like everything that you work for is more about your education, or do you think it's more about the final grade?
At the end of the day, although the teachers and the students do care about learning, I think it is about the final grade on the report card, because that's what gets you into college. So yeah, it's definitely about working to get that A instead of really retaining all of the information.
I think applying what you learn is totally different than just learning. Like, I feel like at school, I'm just learning to do the work to get the grade. As I've gotten into more APs, I've seen more teachers passionate to teach. When I'm in normal classes, like last year, I was in this history class, and it was so terrible. I feel like it was just because it was a normal history class that the teacher didn't want to teach us, because it was like, oh, these are just normal students.
You've experienced Common Core. What do you think about the change in curriculum?
I hate it. I think it's really hard as a high schooler to just change the curriculum and like how you learn. At a younger age, they should start it and then grow to that same learning curriculum rather than just changing from like learning one way to learning the other. And I think a lot of people are struggling, including myself.
I think you could not even have a teacher in the room. You could have a supervisor. Because if you go up and ask your teacher if they can help, they turn you away and say, go ask one of your table members.
So there's pretty much no point in teachers when you have
No,
Common
you
Core.
could have a supervisor in there.
Do you still take down notes and all that kind of stuff, or is it just given
I think in
worksheets?
math, I've taken 2 sheets of notes throughout the whole year, 2 weeks before the school ends.
So how do you even learn?
They tell you to open up the book and do your work, and I have a tutor. That's kind of how I learn.
So you have to pay for an outside tutor?
Yeah.
Because you're not taught anything in
Yes.
class?
Yeah.
How have the standards of education changed since you were in high school or college?
Oh wow, everything. It's like a B's not good enough anymore. I mean, I was a B and C student in high school, had a great time. And then when I found the major, I was a criminal justice major in college, I had straight A's because I enjoyed it. But if these kids come home with a C now and they're a junior, they're like not going to be able to get into the college I want. It's crazy. It's like you're not allowed to fail while you're learning. I think that the expectations are set way too high, and I think it's ridiculous.
So if there was like anything that you wanted to like change with our education system, what would it be?
Just less busy work, and for some of the teachers to be more hands-on to each student.
I think that we should change the mindset that kids should be sort of judged based on numbers, for example, grades and SAT scores, because I think that we should have a more holistic approach on considering kids for further education and for college, because kids are a lot more than just their grades and scores.
No Common Core for math particularly, and less busy work.
I think the amount of pointless homework that the teachers give us that is just given to get points in areas could be minimized, because it just creates stress and frustration for the high school students.
For like counselors, try to have kids go into harder classes that they actually enjoy. I've seen so many kids go into APs just saying, I'm doing this because I want to like get AP credit, or it's just gonna look good on my transcripts. And like I get that to a certain extent, but you want to do something that you actually like, and so you want to learn stuff that you're actually going to use later. Memorizing like really useless facts like spelling tests and stuff doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we have computers, like spell check. Don't assign us something when you know that we have like work in other classes. Like, don't assign us just busy work.